What's up, Minnesota Viking fans? Welcome to the Purple People podcast. My name is Kyle Smith, and I'm joined by Adam Carlson tonight. What's up, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. It's Monday, November 29th. We're closer to Christmas. It's been a wild week for the Vikings, and the last time we talked, a lot has happened, and I'm glad we have the whole crew here. Kyle West is here, too.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Adam, is that a thermometer behind you?
No, it's actually a nice little measuring stick.
I thought it was a thermometer. I knew it was snowing where you were, so I was going to ask how cold it was.
I was curious.
Yeah.
It's a pretty chilly day. My phone right now says that it's 28, but I don't know what that. Let me take a quick look here to see what the feels like is. It feels like 13.
We hit 60 degrees today. And
Oh, wow.
This is your weather recap
Kind of wild.
from the Purple People podcast.
I can't complain. I'm in the Carolinas. I'm sure it's warmer here, but it's
I
cold for me.
I could complain in July in Carolinas.
Yeah.
I can complain about Vikings football.
Yeah, we're going to do that today. Because in true
Honestly, I'm not as
Minnesota
mad as I
Vikings.
thought I could be.
What's that?
I'm not as mad as I probably could be. But I'm sure we can discuss this.
You know, right before we went on, I was thinking in my head of something that kind of relates to that, and I want to talk about it today. I don't want to do a traditional show today. I want it to be relaxed. I still am a little food hungover from Thanksgiving, and we have other stuff besides this game to talk about since the last time we did the show. But what the narrative was when the team was like 2-4, 2-5 up to now, I feel like has completely shifted. There were a lot of backups playing in this game, and the Vikings were very much in this game. There was some quirky, weird stuff that happened. Kirk Cousins lined up behind the right guard, which was funny. Not so funny stuff. The injuries keep piling up on this team, but all in all, I don't have as much hatred for the team as I did about a month ago when I was just like, what the F are you guys doing? Now it seems to have an identity. They just are coming up short a little bit. And I think part of that is because the injury bug is really starting to rear its ugly head on this team.
Well, coming into this game, all three of us, I believe, we talked about how Minnesota has never matched up well against the 49ers. The 49ers offensive line is a bruising offensive line that's meant to break things open in the run, and Jimmy G is meant to do as little as possible back there and keep things just flowing on the ground. That's exactly what they were able to do. And as I wrote over on the Viking Age for my takeaways on Monday, having that defensive line be all backups for this game hurt really bad because I don't think there was a lineman that was in the top 5 of tackles. And that's never good. And when your safety's the top tackler, that's a bad sign. You don't want that.
Right, and they're so injured on that line right now that, like, I can't even be mad at, like, Shelton Richardson playing defensive end.
No.
Because what the hell is Shelton Richardson doing at defensive end? Like, that's so out of position for him that overall, I feel like he played really well, all things considered.
Was I the only one when watching this game that got really confused when TJ Smith came in the game?
Yeah.
Nope. You're not the only one.
Who's that?
So I didn't get to watch. I was at work. I got to see maybe 20 minutes of the game. I kept using third-party sites, and it was just repeating the same 10-second sequences. So I decided to follow along on ESPN. Then I got on Google immediately when that name came up. I have no idea. But Adam's right. We've said this on the show many times and learned it from you guys, learning as I have over the last 8 seasons now with y'all. Yeah, if your secondary is your leading tacklers, that's not good. Harrison Smith is Harrison Smith, but yeah, 11 tackles a day, and then 2 linebackers and a safety, and then another linebacker. The first, a corner. I mean, you don't get down to a D lineman until like 7th in this list, which is not good. But all things considered, the positive side of the game, the Vikings almost won this game. They were very in this game, and they lost by. That is my apologies, guys. I didn't know that was
a one-possession game.
One possession, and
I got
for all the weird
you
stuff
did.
that happened,
Dalvin Cook.
For all the weird stuff that happened, they're still very much in it, which is what you want to see. We don't want to see any more of those clunkers like against the Cowboys, where the
and there can be plenty of finger pointing. A missed extra point. 2 times the Vikings went for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal, and a failed 2-point conversion If you add all those together, you've got a tie football game.
True.
Here's the thing, is that I don't think that we can be mad at them going for it on 4th down when we've been screaming with our fists up in the air for Mike Zimmer
See,
to
that's where I
more
kind of
aggressive.
feel weird with.
Yeah.
We've been itching and just absolutely angry that Mike Zimmer won't take these chances. And then when he finally starts doing it, you take a step back, you're like, well, I kind of miss the days when we kick that field goal and get the points.
Thank you.
I'm okay. Hey, I'm okay with him being aggressive. I'm fine with it.
When they went to the Chargers and I went to that game, it's one of the things my brother and I talked about, him being a Chargers fan, is the mind frame from team to team, coach to coach, player to player, all that stuff is completely different, but the same. And it makes no sense. But think about the culture in Minnesota. Think about what they're built on. You want to run, you've got some explosive wide receivers, you're going to play sort of conservative, and the defense is going to pin you down and smother you. That's this team. And you look at a team like the Chargers, and I'll round this back to this game, but their coach came in, and he is the most aggressive coach in the league. He goes for it on 4th down all the time, and it's based on stats. So to Adam's point, I think it's hilarious when the Twitter warriors come out and say, why would you do that? It's like, you asked for this for the last 10 weeks. That's exactly what you asked for. It's not going to go to plan, and the math alone, if you'll do 2 minutes of research, which nobody on Twitter will do because they're lazy, you'll see that the math on that is mostly not good.
I still hate going for 2 in the 3rd quarter. I will always hate that.
But I like the precedence that it sets, because the difference between the team that we have the last 3 weeks and the team before that is they are going to try at least to make the attempt to put the foot on the gas pedal. And I love that. It's going to put you in better positions going forward. You're going to have to live with the gamble, but I'd rather live with the gamble than watch the team slowly, conservatively shrivel up. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's the way I'd rather see the team go out swinging.
I understand that too. We talked about acceptable interceptions from Kirk Cousins, which is a weird thing that you don't ever really discuss. But every now and then, it's okay for your quarterback to throw an interception, like, going into halftime, going for a Hail Mary pass, and just chuck it up and see if one of your guys can make it. Like, when we talk about being more aggressive, I think those are the situations that we're talking about where you can go for that, and if you throw a pick in that situation, that's okay.
But you kind of have to adjust to the situation, because Minnesota couldn't stop San Francisco on the ground. Kirk Cousins was having an off day throwing the ball, and Dalvin Cook just wasn't getting things going the way that you would hope that he would. Mm-hmm. So I understand wanting to make the most of each opportunity, but you've also got to understand that if you don't put some points on the board when you can against this team, that it's going to become harder and harder and harder as the game goes on. And that's exactly what happened, especially when Dalvin Cook went down and then Darisaw left the game.
Yeah.
It became a situation where Minnesota they should have maybe regretted not taking points when they could against this team. Now, if Minnesota were to make those decisions next week against the Lions, I'd be like, all right. But the 49ers are a team that's always been a thorn in the side for Minnesota. They've never stacked up well. The war in the trenches, there really wasn't much of a chance of winning, except before Christian Darisaw left, he was doing a very good job. Aside from one highlight sack that he gave up. But on the other hand, I mean, I don't know. The more I think about this situation with criticizing the decisions made by Coach Zimmer and how many weeks in a row here, NFL.com has sent out a notification talking about how he's been making the right decisions mathematically. It's weird to look back and see all the fan just hatred towards some of his decisions when statistically they're the right call and maybe emotionally they aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kathy, what's up?
It's to have you back, Kathy.
I think for this team, especially like you said, for the matchup, looking at credit to the Niners too. Kyle Shanahan, I know he's came up short in the big games, but he's gotten his two different teams with two quarterbacks that I think are pretty similar, even though one's won an MVP and one hasn't. I think that he's done a lot of creative stuff on the offensive side of the ball. Watching their designs and how plays develop there is so much fun to watch. Compared to this team, Yeah, they're all right. They're a lot more traditional than I don't know a lot of people like, but seeing the different creativities, just appreciating the game Sunday from the few plays that I did see that worked out was pretty fun. But we got to talk about injuries. We got to talk about the going forward. So the big news from this game is Dalvin Cook tore his labrum, separated his shoulder, I believe, or dislocated it one. I think it's separated, maybe. It's said to not be season ending. Maybe he'll come back and make a push for the playoffs. First thing I said.
The update we just got from ESPN, I got it at the same time you did, is saying December 20th at Chicago is when they're hopeful for a return for Dalvin Cook.
It's only a 2-week miss, which makes sense because we got the Lions game coming up on Sunday, and honestly, there wasn't really the way he went down. I thought he was going to be done for the season. So 2 to 3 weeks ain't so bad. But when you got the Lions coming up and then Thursday Night Football against the Steelers, the turnaround there is kind of fast. So I don't see Cook being there for either of those.
Lions are a bye week. That's our extra bye.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, don't say that. Don't look past them, dude. They are so desperate for a win. Oh my God,
they are biting all the kneecaps,
all of them. But talking about the game, let's do a recap too with the season going around. All right, so you have Irv Smith, week 3 preseason. Terrible news. Week 6, Daniil Hunter goes down, or week 7. So there's your star defensive end. Probably your best defensive player is gone. A little update from last week we haven't talked about yet at all because it happened on Thursday. Everson Griffen, not going to go too in detail. We know about his mental health battle, and that's been a struggle from recent years. Definitely came back. Glad everyone's safe. Really, really hope that he's all right.
Both Pierce and Barr missed a significant amount of time.
Pierce and Barr were out. Barr's back.
You got COVID issues with Smith and Tomlinson.
Patrick Peterson.
Issues with Patrick Peterson today. I mean, the injury bug has not been good to this team, but I'm starting to see what Adam was saying. Darisaw, he didn't play for a while. Starting to see what Adam was saying a couple weeks ago, though. I don't think Zimmer's going anywhere unless he chooses to. This has been just the whole kitchen sink thrown at him. And I get it. He's had some stinker games this season in particular. But this team's fighting, man. And they're still, even with a loss to a conference opponent yesterday, they're still in the playoffs right now, which is wild to think. Thank God Carolina got the shit beat out of them by the Dolphins yesterday, because that's about the only team that we were worried about, minus maybe the Falcons sneaking in. I just don't believe they'll be able to do it. But
and let's take a second to talk about Dalvin Cook missing these 2 games, because we were talking in our own private chat for a little while about Minnesota's running backs, and we all like Alexander Madison. We like that he's a short yardage guy, a lot of power, good motor. He'll keep those feet moving. We've seen in the past that he might struggle a little bit time with vision and finding holes, and his top speed isn't always there, and he takes a little bit to get up there with his acceleration. But you know who doesn't? Is Kenny Nwangu. Kenny Nwangu is he's bound to get some more reps this time, because with Dalvin Cook out, he should be the primary backup. And now we can see that speed in action. We get to see a little bit of that against the 49ers. And I got to admit, I liked watching him come off the edge with some speed and be shifty. I mean, he's already got 2 kick return touchdowns, and we've seen some of his really good vision and ability to jump cut on some of those. And I'm kind of excited to see this kid in action.
He's a playmaker, man. You got to come up with a package to get your playmakers involved in the game. Get
exactly
him some
what I'm
touches out
saying
there.
right now. You got with Cook being out for the next about 20, 21 days, whatever it is. I think you have at least one play a game where you're trying to get a screen to this kid and get a ton of people out there. They had to play yesterday with Jefferson throwing it back. Do the same thing with him. Get some blockers out in front. Dude's going to score a touchdown. I mean, it was incredible. And I don't know if you got to flip it to the other side of the field or whatever you got to do, but I love the kid's speed. I don't know if we're going to do game balls and donkeys. I really don't care. This game was wild, but he would get my game ball. The kid is electric, man. And I'm not saying he's the second coming of like Percy Harvin or somebody like that, but haven't had that since Mark Charles. And
give Thielen my game ball and Udo my donkey. There we go. I'm done.
Nice. Yeah, Udo, when are we going to see Wyatt Davis start? Is that going to happen this year? Because
when's he going to be active?
Yeah.
The only time he's been active this year is when they had too many injured people and they had to put somebody active.
I don't get it.
Wasn't he at one point thought of as like a potential first-round pick?
Oh, yes.
He fell
Absolutely.
to third. It's unusual that he's been
He had
inactive
some like
all
knee
season.
issues or something. I think is part of
Yeah.
the reason he fell. But yeah, everything I read on the kid, it said he was an absolute mauler at guard, which is the complete opposite of what we know. So that's why I want to see him.
Right. At some point, we do have to believe that the professional coaching staff knows what they're doing. And
At
there
least
has to be
when drafting them or developing them. Actually, they've given me not very many reasons to believe that they know what they're doing.
That's also fair, Adam.
Hey, Adam sent a very good graphic out. I'm not going to share it here, but you can look at it. We're not going to put it on our page because that would be very not cool.
I'll put it up. What is
But
it?
it's the Panthers. The Panthers PFF grades were so bad yesterday. I
Terrible.
put on 1/4 of that game because it was free on the NFL app. And I believe Pat Elflein was their
free
center.
and you wanted a refund.
He's like a 12 or something.
Pat Elflein got it. I heard your joke, by the way, Kyle. That was good. Yeah,
It was
Pat
good.
Elflein
Thank
was
you.
a 12, and their right guard. And I was explaining this to a lady friend of mine today, very, very close friend of mine, Panthers fan. She's like, "Hey, you know, I told you when Cam came back, I wasn't excited." I was like, "I'm not blaming that game on Cam. Did you see the offensive line? You guy at right guard got a 0 grade. If you're a quarterback and you throw the ball repeatedly into the ground every snap, you get a 39." You got to be real bad to get a 0. And I know quarterback and right guard are different, but holy shit, man, I'm trying to talk myself back into we don't have it that bad. Because after Adam sent that, I was like, I can't really say anything negative unless Kirk gets sacked like 15 more times. I don't know. That was really, really bad. But
And I believe Kirk was only sacked once, so he did a good job of getting away from the pressure. But of course, there was definitely pressure, and it affected several of his throws. Kirk had one throw that was that interception. He just was locked in on a guy, and there was somebody right in between them, and he threw it anyway. And I get having faith in your receivers, but you got to give your receiver a chance to go get it. If you throw that ball and that defender's there to jump that route, you aren't even giving your receiver a chance.
Yeah. It probably wasn't the best of games for Kirk. He seemed like he
No.
got a little skittish in there.
his QBR
happens.
was terrible.
Yeah.
His QBR is like a 32. It's really bad. He did have 2 touchdowns, both Adam Thielen on the day. Glad to see. We were just talking about how quiet he's been. He's bound to have a game where he comes in.
He catches footballs in the end zone. Doesn't
He
get a lot of
does.
yardage.
I'm trying to look
But
here. Is
that
for
was a
this
catch.
regular season? Yeah, he's at 686.
That was a catch, right?
Yeah,
It looked like a catch to me.
It was a
That was a
catch.
catch. That was a catch.
That's a good segue. We can talk about the shitty officiating, but yeah, he's got 686 yards on the season. He has. Let's just give me for the game. Where's this at?
Yeah, did you see that Harrison Smith got flagged for trying to separate 2 guys that were fighting?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
see
he got
that.
He got a 15-yard personal foul for coming in. He pushed one guy away from the 2 guys that were fighting, and he got the 15-yard penalty, and there was no offsetting.
Don't get it.
I found what I was looking for that has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. 10 touchdowns already on the year for Adam Thielen. So,
Oh, yes. But he's still not going to make the Pro Bowl.
Of course not.
I don't know if you guys read my 4 Vikings who will make the Pro Bowl and 4 who won't, but I had a real good time with that article, and it did very well over on the Viking Age. So hopefully it got people talking, because I know the Pro Bowl isn't one of those things that gets people all excited and stuff. So I was a little interested that article of all mine was the one that decided to take off. But Pro Bowl voting is open over on NFL.com, and go make your votes.
Do you think Rashad Breeland makes the Pro Bowl, Adam?
No, but Patrick Peterson, if he had been healthy and made a couple more plays, based on name recognition, he would have had a chance. But
Yeah.
missing so many games and playing in a small market and quarterbacks not throwing the ball at him, that just absolutely ruined it for him, because casuals ain't going to vote for that.
Damn those casuals.
Same way Kirk Cousins ain't getting in. Tom Brady getting in based on name recognition. Then you got Aaron Rodgers who's getting in no matter what. Then you got Matt Stafford and
Remember when Jeff Saturday got in for the Green Bay Packers?
and he wasn't even a
because he's the-
starter.
Yeah, only because he's the only center people like recognize.
Right?
Yeah,
And they're like,
that
I
was
don't
it.
recognize that guy.
Jeff Saturday? Yeah, I know him. Vote Pro Bowl.
Oh man, what a weird game this was. I'm looking at Jefferson's stats now. He's already over 1,000 yards. I love this kid. He's good at football. Thank you,
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
he's good.
By the way, fun meme that I found this weekend. Because everybody's making fun of Kirk lining up under the right guard. Just hey, brain fart situation, whatever. They showed Jalen Reagor for the Philadelphia Eagles missing not one, but two potential game-winning touchdown catches. And then they showed the draft selection in Wiki. And they're like, thank you, Philadelphia. Oh, man, that never gets old. And I hate that kid's having a tough go and having to play in that city, but I'm not.
My favorite is the one with the guy from Nickelback holding the look at this Eagles draft. That's my favorite.
That's good.
That's a good meme in general.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're voting for Ellison. Andrew, get out of this chat right now. Go away.
Hey, I was reading that the Vikings have an interesting decision coming up with our current center or former center, Garrett Bradbury's contract coming up as to whether or not they will extend him. And I think a lot of people
Is it his
saying,
third season already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That went fast.
A lot of Vikings fans are saying no.
Well, you don't take the fifth-year option on him. That's a big no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see him in year 4, and that will be a make-or-break year for him.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's a shame how much they've invested in that center position. It's wild.
I don't think he's terrible. He's not my favorite, but he's a lot like Kirk, where I think when he leaves, unless you get a massive upgrade,
he's not good.
You're gonna miss him.
I want the
I want to say that, and Adam, you're 100% right, center. But that's what he wants. I know it's not going to go well with this zone run thing that they do, but
I know.
Adam says that. Adam's 100% right, but you know what?
And if he goes up against a big DT, you got to give him help.
Give me Matt Burke. Like, stop.
No.
Yeah, I mean, stop with the undersized small center. Give me big Matt fucking Burke out there. That's what I want.
Not even a Matt Burke type.
What do you like Matt Burke? I don't like his politics, but I like Matt Burke.
If I was living in Minnesota, I probably wouldn't vote for him for government. I'll tell you that.
No, what I'm saying to that point is, I obviously I agree with you, but to your point, Adam, going back further, to make another point you made, I don't trust this team to draft anybody else. So at least I know what Garrett Bradbury is. Well, I don't. They have a good left tackle and they found a good right tackle, but
they got good bookends.
For whatever reason, they know dick about the inside of the line, and it's.
And I'm not minding Cleveland on the inside.
I think
he's okay.
He's doing pretty
I like him. I'll give him that.
He's doing all right.
We're talking mainly about Udo and Bradbury. Poor guy. I feel bad for him, honestly.
Well,
I've seen him get shoved backwards. He's playing against like Akeem Hicks and all these big ass Linval Joseph types. It's just not fair.
It's not.
We've talked about this before, Adam. The Vikings have this weird kind of draft philosophy where it's like, let's draft a real.
See, I wonder how professional
player.
that is, Andrew. If you can keep him on the team and say, hey, look, we're going to move forward at center and try somebody else, but we want to keep you because you know the team. Would you be willing to stay? Depending on how professional you are. I'm sure Andrew's got to hear somebody will pay him. Somebody paid Pat Elflein to be their center. So
yeah, the way that's got to go is you will have to let a player test free agency to see if another team will pay him what he thinks he's worth. And sometimes that's worked out in the Vikings' favor, and they've been able to get a player back on almost nothing. And other times he'll go sign a contract for way more than he's worth.
Yeah, we've seen that too. But yeah, I'm not going to go over much else about this game. Exciting play. Kene Nwangwu kickoff return. I'm Thielen scores twice. Harrison Smith had some pass breakup. So did Breland Peterson. When you give up 208 yards on the ground and you lose a time of possession battle and you have some turnovers, I mean, it's a classic recipe not to win the game. But they were still in it. I mean, they're down. They lost by 8 points and nobody scored in the fourth quarter, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still have faith.
Didn't look like regular Kirk. I'm hoping that he can shake off his performance and come back. And he doesn't have to have a perfect game against Detroit to win the football game, but he does need to be back to closer to being his normal self, especially without having Dalvin Cook there. It sounds like Darrisaw could have came back in the game against the 49ers, but they decided to roll with the backup at left tackle for the rest of the game, so he should be available. I haven't read anything about Barr, so I'm curious to see if we'll get a little bit of an update on Barr here sometime soon, as well as the status of all those defensive linemen that were out. Hopefully some of them can come back. I think Tomlinson is the only one that is probably the most likely to come back, but they could even still probably use him.
I don't remember. What's wrong with Pierce?
Elbow.
Pierce was put on short-term IR for his elbow.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it fair to call him a bust in terms of free agent signing?
I don't think so.
I don't like
hold
to
the
do that
injuries.
when it's an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last season, of course, he sat out because of COVID. So
Right.
I'm not going to say he's
I
a
don't
bust
hold-
yet.
I don't hold the COVID season against him at all. I fully understand that one.
I don't hold that against him either. Not even for the COVID stuff. I think it's because of why.
It's disappointing he can't be on the field.
Yeah.
He's I think he's asthmatic too. He said so. That
Yeah.
was kind of a
Yeah.
big deal for him, but which sucks too, man. I'm not calling him a fat guy or anything, but he's a bigger dude and to have asthma and have to play a sport like that, you're already
Yeah.
like up against the wall, man. That sucks. But I don't call him a bust for the injury stuff because I think he'll make a difference. That's weird. You usually think about like lower body stuff or like Daniil Hunter tears a pec, Dalvin Cook shoulder. You never think about elbows being a thing, but I guess they could get hurt pretty easily. Weird. I haven't
Absolutely.
heard of too
All those joints can bend the
elbow.
wrong way in traffic.
Looking forward. I guess we're done with the 49ers. I'm going to check this now. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with my mic, but I took a picture the other day of the remaining schedule for the Vikings, and they have 2 tall tasks in front of them. And after those, they're very winnable games here. Now, the X factor is not going to be one of the 2 winning teams that I'm going to mention. The X factor is going to be the Chicago Bears because for whatever reason, the Vikings play like shit against them most of the time, and I can't figure out why. I think that team's a mess right now, but they are competitive. They are better than Detroit. You have the Bears twice, so let's go in order. The Vikings,
the Lions are winless.
The Lions are winless. They have them next in Detroit. Thursday night game at home against the Steelers, who got absolutely
The Steelers have
mauled.
looked awful.
Yeah, thank God they're still playing Ben, and their backup is not very good either. They do have a great defense. I'll give them that, but offense looks really bad.
But their
Then you
defense
go-
is banged up, and they were the team that tied with Detroit. So
Oh, that's right. They got mauled by the Bengals this weekend. It was embarrassing.
yeah, they are not one of my major concerns.
So that's at the Lions, home against the Steelers, at the Bears, December 20th. That's going to be tough. Home against the Rams. Even though the Rams are in a skid right now, I do think they handily beat the brakes off the Vikings. I just don't see
They have
that
too
coming.
much talent to really ignore. And when it comes time for me to make my picks on that game, I probably will end up.
Depends how
Picking
beat up
the Rams.
Stafford is. I know he's nursing quite a few different injuries right now, but he's a gritty, tough player. That'll be a tough game regardless.
Right after that, January 2nd in Lambeau for the rematch. That's going to be tough.
So
I-
I don't know if
wouldn't
this
bet
is real or not because of how many false reports are out there, but was there something about Aaron Rodgers considering surgery on his foot?
There
I
was,
haven't
but he
heard
said he's
that.
going to play regardless. He was just throwing up the idea of whether or not he's going to get it now or wait till the season's over.
Oh, wow.
And I don't think that he's going to do anything. He's already missed time for the COVID thing that happened, but I think this is just my personal rambling off into the void. So don't take this for anything, guys. But I feel like this is set up for him to part ways with Green Bay and test free agency if he wants. I think he'll test free agency. I'm not sure that he'll 100% leave, even though he can
Oh, he's
test
gone.
it.
He's gone.
He might. I mean, there's a solid chance. He sounded like he wanted to leave this year, but the
He'll
point
be a
being, this could
Viking.
be the final
Give him-
year
give
for
him
Green
time.
Bay, and that
He'll be
he's
in
going to want to
Denver.
go out on top. And I think, honestly, I think they're the best team in the NFC. I really do.
Denver is where quarterbacks go to get championships.
Yeah, we said this too. I told this to my dad literally an hour ago, standing there watching this Monday night game. The
Or
Saints
could you
need a
imagine
quarter.
if he could boot their inconsistent quarterback and get Aaron Rodgers.
Indy needs one. They're not going to get rid of him, but they need one. Miami needs one. Houston, he's not going to go to Houston. New Orleans is the best fit for him or Russell Wilson. Now, I
don't even want that. Can we check out to the AFC?
I don't want that either. But
AFC.
here's the weird part too. Think about this. Did you guys see the report the other day that the Giants are going to be making like a blockbuster trade for Russell Wilson?
I heard that.
I did see that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be fitting if Aaron Rodgers ended up going to the Jets, following Favre's footsteps?
Hey, I'm all for that. If he goes to the Jets, then he comes to the Vikings the season afterwards. And bring it on, baby.
I would die if he was a Viking.
I'm all for that.
That would confuse so many Vikings fans. I said the same thing about Brett Favre though before he came to Minnesota. So
I would die. I would.
I didn't think I would ever cheer for Brett Favre.
We both agree, right? We both agree because we're in this void now where we're talking about Rodgers being a Viking because I'm trying to manifest that into the world. We all agree he's better than Brett Favre, right? I mean,
okay. Here's the thing: mechanically, yes. In terms of just like pure gunslinging funness, Brett Favre is more fun.
Of course not. He's a gunslinger, man.
Yeah. They're two different styles
on that side.
See, Aaron Rodgers gets COVID conspiracies. Brett Favre sends dick pics.
That's because he's old school. Brett Favre's old school.
Especially when that happened in like 2008. Did you send it an email?
You had to fax it.
It's one of those things that took a while to load and it's kind of like
Oh no, I can hear the dial up in the background. We've went down the rabbit hole now. Sorry, guys. But that last game that I was mentioning after Lambeau's at home against the Bears. So I've got the Vikings going 9-8 this year, losing to the Rams and the Packers. I hope they can squeak it out against the Bears twice. I feel like they have the talent to, but they whatever reason they don't play well in Chicago.
I don't mind the Bears game at home. It's the one at Lambeau that I'd be afraid of. Or not at Lambeau, at Soldier Field.
This team is geared up for every bit of 8-9, 9-8. So if they can win these conference games, do well in the division, they're going to make the playoffs, which would set them up for one of three matchups because this is how it's going to roll. They're either going to Green Bay, they're going to Arizona for a rematch, or they're going to Tampa Bay. One of those three. I don't see how Dallas is going to pull ahead to be the number one seed. So
out of those three, who do you want to face?
I want a rematch against Arizona. I think they could totally beat Arizona. Absolutely.
Well, Tampa Bay hasn't beaten Minnesota yet, so why not?
I'm going to say, screw it. We're going to Green Bay.
I don't like it because it'd be in Lambeau and it'd be super cold.
Yeah, I want the warm weather down there in Tampa.
I want the indoors of Arizona.
I'm only saying Green Bay because it's a common opponent. We've faced them a couple times, so maybe that.
And there was already a win there, even though the Packers are kind of beat up. I can get that. Yeah. I can get behind that, but I think Green Bay would be a little extra focused for that one.
I don't ever want to face Tom Brady in the playoffs ever. Just why would you want to do that?
Andrew, don't ever give me hope like that. If you recall, earlier this year, right before his thumb thing happened, I told you I would trade the kitchen sink, the dog, and the wife and kids for Russell Wilson. Don't do it. Don't give me hope. Get out of here with that. I want that kid so bad on this team. Kirk's not going anywhere. He's too reliable. And hey, the stats just keep getting better for that dude. He has 3 picks on the year now. He's got 23 touchdowns, 3 picks. Dude, he's balling out. He'll have 4 good games for 1 clunker, but overall his stats are going to keep him right here in Minnesota.
Hey, so let's say the Vikings end up with around the number 20 draft pick, okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see them going guard to try to fix up the offensive line? Do you see them going corner after they lose some of their guys? I mean, there aren't a lot of options left because there's a need at linebacker because honestly, as much as I hate to say it, Barr shouldn't be back, really.
Barr's done.
Not at his price tag.
He's going to have arthritis in his knee forever now, poor guy. Well, all right, so let's have that, Adam. I'm going to steal your question and rip it off as my own. What's the biggest need? Because let's not even say the biggest need. Who do we know for 100%
offensive line scout?
Yes. Who do we think?
Strength and
Because we don't
conditioning
know.
coach.
We don't know on these 1 year deals like Peterson or Woods or whoever. But who
Jugs
do we
machine.
think? Who do we think is not going to be here next year?
I just like saying Jugs.
The jugs machine. Yeah.
Because you know where I'm
It's
where
getting
I'm
kinda
leaning
rusty.
towards in this draft. You know what I'm leaning the most towards that I want the Vikings to pick up. I tried to get them to do it the last 2 years and they didn't do it. You need an elite pass rusher out of the first round. You need one.
I thought they were going to do that this year.
They need it. Griffin's not going to stay. I'm just going to say this now, and I hope he gets better. And I want him to stay. I want him to come back next year.
Absolutely. I love his energy.
I love him. I think he's a great person. I think he just struggles sometimes with mental health. But I think I don't know how you keep him around if this is going to keep being a thing. They're probably going to let him go. And who do you have starting there? DJ Wanham and Patrick Jones? Like I like Wanham.
And
I don't love him.
I hate to say it, but we're starting to get a bit of an injury history now with
Hunter,
our other defensive end, Hunter. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you almost kind of need to start to plan for that future because right now that line is barren. It is not good. Yeah. I almost
Andrew's
think
over here reminiscing. When
I
the Walker
almost
trade
think-
happened, they played boys back in town.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I think you got to go corner. And I know Vikings fans hate that because we've drafted, it feels like so many in recent years.
Yeah.
But
Kyle,
we
you know what?
continue-
I agree, and I wouldn't be pissed at that at all. And you know what?
Yeah.
Here's the positive, because both of those words sound really similar. Cornerback and quarterback. You could be the Denver Broncos who draft a quarterback literally every year and never get it right. You know what? At least we're set there for another season. That's a good way. That just made me think of something. Yeah,
I still think it's crazy that Cutler is probably the best quarterback the Broncos have ever drafted.
Yeah.
You know, he's statistically towards the top of the Chicago Bears for like franchise quarterbacks they've had as well, too.
Yeah. Smoking Jay Cutler. Underrated.
Yeah, but Blake Bortles is also towards the top of the Jaguars all-time quarterbacks for
Who
this,
is you cut out a little bit. Who is?
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we've went down the rabbit hole tonight. We're only 37 minutes in. This is, oh, man.
Was Jason Campbell a Chicago Bear at one point?
In my memory, I remember him being there.
I think so. I don't know. Does anyone
Unless this is one of those Bernstein Bears situations.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. But I think he was a Chicago Bear at
Archie.
one point.
Fun fact, Andrew, I'm sure you already know about him. His name is Arch Manning, and apparently he's really good at football.
Yes.
Like Pat from McDonald's?
He's a junior in high school? I was listening
Golden Arch.
I was listening to Pat McAfee talk about that. He's like a junior in high school, and he can read defenses perfect already.
Well, in that household, you don't really have much of a chance, I don't think.
He could probably read defenses before he got to middle school.
No shit.
I'm sure with all the DNA flowing in his veins and the people around him, he's like, hey, guess what? You're going to be really awesome. You're welcome.
I mean, when one of your uncles is Peyton Manning and the other is Eli, and that'd be what? His grandfather would be Archie Manning? Yeah.
That's
I
wild.
get it.
Wait, hold on. So it's not
How?
Peyton or Eli's son. This is like the other Cooper?
Yeah, Cooper.
This is his son?
And it was always said that before Cooper got injured, he was maybe the best quarterback of the bunch.
That's wild.
I know.
Oh, that's wild.
Have you seen some of the commercials that Cooper's been getting? They're funny.
No, I haven't.
Oh, they're well worth watching. Keep an eye out for them next time you watch some games. Because they are pretty entertaining. Meanwhile, we still got commercials for the Minnesota Vikings players. Harrison Smith's doing some sleep number stuff, which is fun to see.
Very nice.
Kirk Cousins has his sponsors.
I get the Hy-Vee commercials with Kirk Cousins in them.
Nice. No Pizza Ranch yet?
No Pizza Ranch.
I haven't seen that one in a little while. Maybe they decided to cut ties with him. I don't know. You never know. But yeah, this Detroit game coming up is going to be an interesting one. Because I have absolutely no faith in Jared Goff.
Yeah, he's
How
awful.
many times has Adam said that this year?
None. I just no faith whatsoever. I like some of the pieces they have, but I believe
Swift
Swift
is a
is
good
banged
player.
up. They've got some decent players on the offensive line. I know that they've already played Minnesota once, but I don't think Kyle West still could name a wide receiver for the
Nope.
Lions.
Can't do it. Don't do that to me. Can't do it.
On defense, they need a lot of pieces there too. But this should be a game that Minnesota can handle if they come out and they just be aggressive the entire game, even being shorthanded, even if their defensive line can't come back, even without Dalvin Cook. I think Minnesota should be able to handle this game. And it's scary that the game at US Bank Stadium, the first Lions game was at US Bank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's in Detroit. And it's scary that the one at US Bank came down to such a mind-blowing ending where Minnesota had to make a miracle kick to get the win. So hopefully this isn't one of those, and the coaching decisions that Mike Zimmer's been making since then can make this game a bit more of a wide margin of victory.
With the talent they have and the talent that Detroit does not have, this should be a minimum of a touchdown difference game. I would say about,
which is
10
crazy to
points.
think with all the talent that Minnesota's going to have to not play. And
Right.
and we can all still sit here and say Minnesota's got all the talent of this game.
Yeah. Speaking of, just random thought from this game that happened against the 49ers, Patrick Jones got in and played some snaps too. I didn't get to watch. I don't know if anybody got to see if he was going to be anything worth watching later, but that back to that defense. I have defensive end on my brain this entire episode, and how much I'm like Wolverine petting the picture. My God, I miss you so much. Back when we had healthy Hunter and
Jared
Griffin
Allen.
a couple years ago. Oh,
During the
God.
middle of the game, I was like, man, can we call Jared Allen out of retirement?
What's up, Michael? Yeah, the Vikings have to win this game. They'll get back to 500 if they do. Right now, like I said earlier, they're in the 7th seed for the playoffs, so they would be going to Green Bay if the playoffs started tonight. Like we went over that schedule. It's not brutal. It will be tough, but there are very winnable games. There are a few that are going to be very tough, but for all, like I said in the show, for everything that's happened this year, the narrative, it's done almost a 180 where it feels like, okay, we've got a chance. When earlier in the year we were like, this team has zero chance. They don't know what they're doing.
I've never been so pissed off after a win as like I was after that Lions game. Like it really felt like the wheels were falling off the wagon on this one. And I have to eat crow and credit Mike Zimmer for sticking to whatever they're doing and turning this team around a little bit.
Frick yeah, he will. Soda 612. Will the real Kirk please show up for the Detroit game?
Kirk is
this
a bit
Sunday?
like-
I think we have someone in our chat who is hanging out, just waiting for one certain thing.
Would it be the Survival League update?
It is. Ain't Throwing Darts is our champion. Aussie Viking got eliminated by picking the Philadelphia Eagles, and Jake saw his exit with the Dallas Cowboys, and it's all over.
You hate to
Zim
see it.
Reapers also picked Philly. So we got Ain't Throwing Darts, our Survival League champion. Make sure to contact us on Facebook. Send us your name, address, all that kind of stuff, and we'll send out a nice little gift package for you. I'll put something together as well. I haven't really figured out what, but I'll do what I can. But yeah, I mean, the Survival League's coming to a close a little early this year. It's been a weird season with a lot of teams winning that probably shouldn't have, and it knocked a lot of us out really quickly. But still, I mean, congratulations to our winner.
Well, I'm trying to add a banner here, and it didn't let me. Damn it. I'm going to add your name up there just to give you a little publicity. Ain't Throwing Darts. Yeah, like Adam said, shoot us a message. I'm going to get you a Purple People podcast hoodie, shirt, whatever you want for your choosing, size, style, whatever, and get you a little swag bag for tuning in. And you didn't have to do anything. I think that's the coolest part, and that to brag on these two guys in the show as well. When you don't have to do anything, you get free stuff. That is a very good day. But congratulations.
We love having you guys support us. Thank you so much for all you guys tuning in, sharing, supporting, commenting, just hanging out, enjoying the show. Because if it wasn't for you guys, this would be a lot more boring. We'd still do it. We'd do it if there was nobody here. But we love it when you guys are here to help us interact, comment, ask questions, and do all that stuff. So thank you.
Adam and I always used to joke we'd talk in a closet.
We would.
Vikings football, but it's cool that other people listen to us.
I'm always surprised that people do listen. Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful and everything.
Please tell us why.
They're all just here for Smith.
Yeah. They're waiting for that hot tub from Kyle Smith.
They are. They're waiting for the hot tub.
Yeah.
Hot tub stream.
When we start doing like Tom Grossi or whatever his name is that does the Grossi Posse Packer stuff, when you start throwing out lots of donations here, I'll hop in a hot tub. I'll jump in an ice bath outside if you throw enough money out here. I'm not above it. But yeah, congratulations. Send us a message. I'll be checking that the next week or two to see if you've reached out, and then I'll get you. I'll get you your size and all that stuff.
Yeah, it had to be a little weird, Andrew, rooting for the Eagles to lose when you picked the Eagles.
I'm happy they lost.
He knew that if the Eagles lost, he'd get the big win. So, congratulations, man.
Like-minded fans. Yeah, let's do a little self-review here in therapy while we close this session out. Vikings therapy every week. You know what I like about this show, and it's what drew me in first listening before the guys invited me on, was it's always good to have when we don't agree on the show. Shit, I don't think there's a week where we all agree on everything ever, but we have enough respect to listen to something, process it, and then look at it from that other angle. And I think that's the thing that all of us here really enjoy doing is, we can look at it from one lens, but we're not afraid to tiptoe over and then say, oh my God, from this angle, it looks that way. I see what you're talking about. And we don't drink the Kool-Aid like some other people do for the Vikings. And I'm going to leave that very vague, but we know what this team is, and we've been through the pain. These two guys longer than I have. The pain of being a fan of this team, until proven otherwise, you're not getting that shit past us. It's not happening. It's not going to happen.
If you're a Vikings fan that survives the Christian Ponder era, you did all right.
It was bad.
You did all right.
That was bad. Yeah, I think that we like to have fun too, which is great. And then I'm telling you, man, we say this every year, especially since we got on StreamYard, but you guys jumping in and throwing out ideas that we like talking about, we just hadn't thought of in that moment. You're producing the show for us. You just don't know it. You're doing free labor for us, and we love it because we don't have to do a lot. Now that you're here, and it just spirals out of control. I think it's a cool part of this, and I like it.
I say this a little too often, but I do not miss the days of sitting there with my notebook full of notes, launching up and doing our recording software over Skype, and the problems that Skype would have. Oh my goodness, I don't miss it one bit.
And then we'd be 45 minutes in, and I'd go, "Hey, Adam, it didn't record correctly. Yep. We have to do it again."
I was a part of that at one point. I know where I was because I was in Virginia and I was walking around holding a laptop, hoping we would be done before it died. And then we got done. He said, "Guys, we got to do it again because it didn't record." Yeah.
When you do a podcast, the words "it didn't record" are something you never want to hear.
No, it's not at all.
Instant rage. That's like a rage quit on Xbox. You're just like, I'm done. I can't. That's funny.
Clear back. Round table, real quick, since we're right here. Who was the quarterback when you first started watching the Minnesota Vikings? Smith?
When I first became an actual fan of Vikings, I'm a bandwagoner. Favre.
Awesome. Adam?
When I used to listen to the games out in the garage with my grandpa, and I don't remember a lot of that because my memory from when I was little was really bad. But I'd say that when I first started actively becoming a big fan was the early Culpepper days.
Yeah. It was Randall Cunningham when I first started watching, but like Dante Culpepper is the quarterback that I would identify with. It's like when I actually became like the Minnesota Vikings are my team. They're who I pick, who I identify with. I go with Culpepper.
And we got people in the chat. They're talking about Tarkenton, and as a fan, it's been so fun to go back and watch some of those classic games and see these legendary Vikings players doing their thing, and how some of the forgotten players were just amazing contributors. Like I on Twitter and on here once in a while, I'll talk about Ed White, and people don't know who Ed White is, but that man was an absolute monster. And the fact that he's a forgotten player makes me sad.
Yeah. Do you guys follow the Twitter account? It's like random Minnesota Vikings, and all they do is they just...
It's a lot of modern guys, though. That's what I don't like.
It is a lot of modern guys, but there is a lot of people that like, oh, I forgot that guy was on the team in 2006 for like just a season or whatever. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I do wish they would go back and include more historic Minnesota Vikings.
Oh.
Hello, Dad.
At least he's not
lock. Well, the lock on the door doesn't work. We know that now. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, man, I did it for the military, man. That's my story. I did it for the military. That's what I was trying to get back to with these comments. I'm sorry to have that up. I forgot Sam Bradford was on this team. Every time somebody says it, I'm like, oh shit, I did. We and
he was very good Sam for Minnesota.
Bradford. He was all right. He was all right. The team didn't do that well, but he was. God, he was so accurate.
There's a quote from Kyle Rudolph, who Kyle Rudolph firmly believes that if Sam Bradford was healthy, the Vikings would have won a Super Bowl. That's how highly.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
He was that good when healthy. He was that good. And his agent, fantastic.
Yeah, for getting that contract with the Arizona Cardinals.
For getting every contract he's ever gotten. That guy made a lot of money his NFL career. And that rookie deal he got after being drafted, he is probably the reason why the NFL has a set rookie scale for salaries.
100%.
It's either him or Jamarcus Russell.
Oh man, that guy cashed in.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, good for him.
But yeah, congratulations once again to our survival winner. I believe right now the football team and the Seahawks are tied at 9 at halftime. So that's a football game.
Ugh.
Tied at 9.
Russell Wilson's out. Russell Wilson's out of Seattle after this year, yeah.
Are you sure you really want Russell Wilson? Like,
would you want him over Kirk Cousins? I 1,000,000% would love him over
I don't
Kirk
know.
Cousins.
I do. I'm bold statement. Maybe I'm sticking with Kirk.
I'll stick with Kirk too.
Yeah.
And I'll say that really quietly because I don't want it too loud out there.
Yeah.
There's no way. Both of you guys are off your rockers right now. No way.
Hey, Andrew,
although to your point, Kyle, neither Kirk nor Russell Wilson have ever received MVP votes.
Then there you go. Andrew, I want a Wade Wilson jersey just because I'm a really big Deadpool fan. I have Deadpool's first issue, his first appearance in a comic book. I've got like a graded copy of it. It's a 9.7. So I've always wanted a
Deadpool mask.
Yeah, I've always wanted. Yeah, exactly. So I've always wanted to get a Vikings Wade Wilson jersey just because that would be fun, don't you think?
Yeah, me and West exchanged gifts one year, and he got me a Teddy Bridgewater signed banner, and I got him a Deadpool mask, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty awesome.
I still love Teddy, even though he's struggling.
Jonathan, I'm going to talk you off the Kellen Mond train. I'm definitely going to talk you. We'll talk privately. Dude, I got convinced by a guy I don't know. I only got his name once just because he was a scout. But the thing, when you know how you have those like elevator interviews where it's like sell me or don't, dude, you can't convince me otherwise. You cannot. And I hope I say this on record now. I hope that I'm dead wrong about that kid and he just comes out and lights it up. But it was not good. It was not good. The things that were said.
I think we pretty much all know that Teddy is done in Denver. Would you take him back as a backup in Minnesota?
1,000%.
Definitely,
yes.
100%.
110% would love it. But God forbid you have one of those Kirk games. They're going to be like, Teddy! And then, no.
Well, you don't think people are going to be chatting for Mannion?
Thank you
I
guys for
wonder if you
watching. That's it.
could you find a Vikings fan right now who hates Kirk Cousins so much that they're like, give me Sean Mannion? Can you find that guy? Do you
I'm sure-
exist?
You have the Mond guys out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he's a
you do.
draft pick and we haven't seen him yet. So I can kind of understand that, but like, is there a Sean Mannion supporter?
Oh, there is, and they've attacked me on Twitter.
Really?
One guy attacks me anytime I make a joke about Sean Mannion.
Is it Sean Mannion?
You never know, but it's out there.
Maybe he's like overly sensitive on social media, like Kevin Durant, and he monitors all that. I wonder if Sean Mannion thinks he's the Kevin Durant of backup quarterbacks.
He just searches his name on Twitter and looks for people that are talking about him and like.
I bet that's a lot more common than we all think.
Oh yeah,
1,000%.
Yeah, definitely.
But all right, I'm gonna go catch the end of this game for some reason. I don't know why I'm going to. But once again, I want to thank everyone who joined us in the chat because it's always more fun with you all here.
Yeah,
I want to thank everyone who checks us out live on YouTube and comes and joins us. The people that catch us later on Spotify and
all that shit,
iTunes and
watch
Google,
us on YouTube, guys.
Whatever. And we're on iHeart now, I think.
We are.
Question mark, maybe. I haven't checked.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I think they told us we're gonna be if we're not already. So yeah. So if we're not there already, we'll be there soon.
That was at a request, right, Adam?
Yes. Somebody got a hold of me on Twitter and said they'd give us a listen, and what if we were on iHeart? And I said I don't think we are. So I went and got us signed up over on iHeart. So we are probably there now. Let's see. Oh, I guess I'm going first with the plugs here. Over on the VikingAge.com, earlier today I put out a nice little article on the 5 takeaways from this game. Some of them I feel like I'm going to get a little bit of pushback on, but that's always fun. And then you got my bigger thing on the 8 players and their Pro Bowl fates, which if you haven't checked out already, it's been blowing up. So I appreciate everyone who's given a couple clicks on that article here or there. I also wrote an article today about Dalvin Cook's timetable for return. So that was pretty fun. We got me over on Twitch, which you could be watching me over there right now. Definitely of course, most of you are over on YouTube. Maybe 1 or 2 of you over on Facebook Live. But hey, you got the option to watch us anywhere. We've always got content coming out. Over on Twitch, we'll probably do a movie review sometime soon. Fingers crossed.
Yes, we will.
We'll get things worked out, and that'll maybe happen. And over on undeadwalking.com, I've not written in quite a while, and it probably should.
Yeah, you should. I'm like that guy in the background of the rap songs. It just says, yeah.
Uh-huh.
What? Uh-huh.
What's that Walking Dead show? It's got like the neon font in the logo.
Oh, World Beyond. The finale of World Beyond is on Sunday on AMC.
Is World Beyond worth watching if I haven't gotten into it yet?
Well, wait a week and you can binge the whole 2-season series.
Nice. I like that.
Thank you so much for saying that, Adam. It had nothing to do with The Walking Dead, but I love Yellowstone, which a lot of people are into, and the new season's out, and I refuse until the season's over so I can just snort it like a huge ball of cocaine.
But the first season's slow, a lot of character development, a lot of learning about the characters and the adjustments and everything. But season 2 is a bit of a payoff with a lot of cool stuff happening and some familiar things coming up. And I just watched the finale last night, and it ties things up pretty well. So, yeah, I mean, it's worth a watch.
Awesome. Lots of good content out there right now.
Black Friday with Bruce Campbell, that movie, not really worth watching as much.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm a big Bruce Campbell fan, so...
As am I, and I was disappointed.
I am legally required to watch anything that he is in.
I feel the same way. That's why I watched this movie, and I did not care for it.
Better or worse than My Name is Bruce?
Oh, I loved My Name is Bruce.
See,
so much worse.
I didn't like that one.
I liked it a lot.
We disagree on that one.
Yeah, but you like Dune, so I win.
Oh, no.
Dune is fantastic, Adam, and you are incorrect.
If you need a nap, Dune is fantastic.
No, dude, it's so good.
Adam's the only one I've read he's the only one I've seen out of anyone say anything that's negative on it. It almost makes me want to go watch it too.
And I've had hour-long rants on Dune.
I love Dune. Dune is so good. That's like in my top 15 favorite movies of all time. Good.
Is Avatar in there too?
No.
Because that's another overrated piece of dreck right there.
Avatar would not even rank in my top 100.
Adam is just coming in here with a baseball bat in a china shop. He's like, "Oh, that's nice." Bam! That's so good. I was not a fan of Avatar either, but God, that's funny.
No, not the old Dune. The old Dune's better than this new thing, whatever it is.
Give him a break for a second. Let him play his stuff.
The new thing. You mean the faithful adaptation of the book?
Oh, so nope, not getting started. Not getting started. If it's a faithful adaptation of the book, I haven't read the book, but I'll assume the book's crap then too.
This is my third glass of wine. You think I give a shit? You should give a shit about my website that's down below that apparently I sell photography on. So you should check it out using the link below. I just uploaded a couple new photos. So I've got all my latest fall photography up on that one right now. I will be doing some winter-themed photos that will be up here really soon as well, too.
I did see you getting requests on social media.
Yes.
For some black and white winter photos.
Listen, guys, cool. as a fangirl of supporting all my friends and what they do, Kyle West has great photography, as Adam has great writing. This is a good year for them, both of them, and you should support them. It's the holidays, and if you can shoot them a link over here to buy anything. We have Purple People Pod merch too. I believe at that other.
That's on my other website.
Yeah, the Phantasm Digital. You can find them up there. Support your friends, man, especially during the holidays. Give them a little extra cash and some love. It's small business stuff. This is what this is. I mean, let's just make it what it is.
Even if you don't
supporting a small business.
Exactly. Give me some cordial cherries. Those things are delicious.
Right. Even if you don't buy anything, just like, hey, check this out. Share it on your social media. That helps both of us. That helps Adam and I just to get like the name out there for other people to see and check out.
Awesome. One more time, I'm not going to promote anything. I have nothing to promote right now. Ain't throwing darts. Congrats on winning the Survival League. Send us a message.
NC Dog Dude, go follow him on Twitch because he's going to be streaming on there soon. He also does stuff on his Instagram. You can follow him at Twitter there as well. He doesn't go on there very much, but when he does, he's an all right follow. I mean, he's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not gonna hype myself up. Let's be honest with each other. What's that?
He's better than Dune.
Oh God.
I like when you go full screen. I like when you go full screen and we're just the people podcast.
We're just the people podcast now.
We're just the people.
We don't talk about the purple. We don't talk about any of the purple. We're just the people podcast.
We're just the people podcast.
All right. On that note, thanks again to everyone for joining, and remember to stay classy, Minnesota.